We're always hearing about the big players in the global economy, right? The tech giants, the financial hubs, they get all the headlines. But honestly, some of the most incredible growth stories are happening kind of under the radar, in places you wouldn't expect. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of those stories.
Okay, so let me just ask you this straight up. If you had to name a country with one of the fastest growing medical tourism markets in the entire world, who would you pick? Seriously, think about it. Maybe you're picturing somewhere with glitzy resorts or, a classic European spot.
Well, whatever you just thought of, you might want to put that aside, because the country that's absolutely crushing it in terms of pure growth rate is probably not even on your radar.
The answer is Iran. Yeah, you heard that right. And look, before you jump to any conclusions based on the headlines, let's just park the politics for a second and look at the cold, hard data. Because these numbers, well, they tell a wild story about smart strategy.
So, for starters, Iran's medical tourism market is already worth $578 million. I mean, that's over $500 million just this year. So we're not talking about some tiny, little industry here. This is a serious economic player. But believe me, that's just the beginning.
Because that $500 million number, that's just the launch pad. Just look at where this is headed. It's projected to skyrocket from $578 million to nearly $3.8 billion by 2033. That's not just growth, that is an absolute explosion. We're talking about it getting more than 6 times bigger in under 10 years.
To really get why this is so mind-blowing, you gotta have some context. So let's put Iran head-to-head with its big regional rival, the UAE. The country that's poured billions into being the go-to for luxury everything, including healthcare. It's really a tale of 2 totally different game plans.
And this right here shows you exactly how Iran is pulling it off. Check out that compound annual growth rate, the CAGR. Iran's is over 20%, the UAE is around 14%, and the global average is somewhere between 11 and 15%. This is what experts call high-velocity growth. I mean, Iran isn't just in the race, it is lapping the competition.
So how is this even possible? Well, it's all about the strategy. The UAE is playing the luxury game. Think 5-star hospital suites and shiny, new everything. But Iran? They've gone a completely different route. They've doubled down on being the absolute best in a few key areas. They're not trying to do it all, they're trying to be the world's go-to specialist.
And this quote from an industry expert really just hits the nail on the head. Dubai's entire brand is luxury, which, ironically, makes it a tough sell for medical care. I mean, who wants to go to one of the most expensive places on Earth for a procedure? That high cost, that's the exact opening Iran is charged through.
Okay, so Iran isn't selling luxury. It's selling world-class expertise. Let's dig into what that actually means. What are these specific services that are fueling this insane growth?
Get this, Iran is literally known as the rhinoplasty capital of the world. And no, that's not just some catchy marketing phrase they made up. They have earned that title. It's a huge piece of their strategy, and the numbers, they're just wild.
We're talking over 420,000 cosmetic procedures in just 1 year. Think about that volume. When your surgeons are doing that many operations day in and day out, they become unbelievably good. And of course, that kind of scale drives the costs way, way down.
And it's not just about nose jobs. Look at something really complex, like fertility treatments. One cycle of IVF in the US will set you back 15 grand, easy. In Iran, it's more like $2,000 to $3,000. For so many families, that price difference is everything. It's the difference between having a child and not.
So, we've seen what people are getting done, but the next big question is, who is going? Where are all these patients coming from? And the answer to that reveals the other brilliant part of Iran's strategy.
This chart tells you almost everything you need to know. A whopping 85% of patients are from neighboring countries. See, Iran isn't trying to pull people from Europe or America. Their model is built on being the best, most affordable option for the massive market right next door.
We're talking about people from Iraq, Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, Pakistan, Oman. For them, it's not just about the incredible prices. It's also about being close to home, sharing similar cultures, and often speaking similar languages. It just makes the whole experience so much easier.
And check this out. This is a perfect example of that cultural connection. The city of Mashhad is a huge site for religious pilgrimage. So what happens? People come for spiritual reasons and then schedule their medical procedures for the same trip. It creates this amazing one-of-a-kind flow of patients.
Okay, so let's zoom out and put it all together. What's the big takeaway here? What can we learn from Iran's quiet but honestly stunning rise as a healthcare powerhouse?
It really boils down to this. Iran is running a volume-driven model. They're not trying to get the highest price from each patient like Dubai is. No, their game is all about getting a ton of patients by offering world-class care for way, way less. We're talking 60 to 80% cheaper. It's a numbers game, and frankly, they are winning it.
So to sum it all up, you've got this insane growth rate, total dominance in specific procedures, crazy cost savings, and those deep regional ties. But the secret sauce, the thing that makes it all work, is this incredible brain gain. You have all these highly skilled, often Western-trained doctors coming back to Iran to practice. And what that's done is pretty amazing. It's managed to separate the country's medical reputation from its political one.
And that kind of leaves us with one big, fascinating question, doesn't it? Iran's story is almost like a playbook for other countries looking to build a world-class industry against the odds. It really challenges that old idea that top-tier healthcare only exists in a few wealthy nations. So you have to wonder, when it comes to the future of global health, is it possible that pure skill and an affordable price tag can become so powerful that they just transcend politics? Something to think about.